told me not to tell you, but they're itching for the powder. Got that blurry vision, seeing double. Yeah, I love you, but you're all trouble. I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it. Carved a couple holes in my heart, so fuck it. And with all the chemicals, whoa, now falling too far, falling too far. I keep going back to you. No more. I keep going back to you. No more. Yeah, I could have it.
It's Andrew Bound coming to the straight. Stone Cooley's right there with him. Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Brandt Hatch coming to the line.
From the push, I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Cooley taking the checkered flag inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure. Now, Virginia International Raceway has never been interested in making life easy. For round 5 of the West Coast Sim Racing Championship, the GR86 field faces more than 3 miles of elevation change, blind crests, narrow pavement, and corners that punish even the smallest loss of concentration. From the commitment required through the climbing S's to the crucial launch out of Oak Tree, every section of VIR demands precision. In GR86 Toyotas, outright horsepower will not rescue a mistake. Drivers must preserve momentum, stay disciplined in the draft, and connect each corner without unsettling the car. A poor exit can leave someone vulnerable for a length of the next straight, while one moment of impatience through the roller coaster or hog pen could bring the entire race to an early end. 4 rounds have already shaped the championship. Tonight, the pressure rises as the season reaches VIR, one of the fastest, most technical, and least forgiving challenges on the schedule. Welcome to West Coast Sim Racing Round 5 with the Toyota GR86 at VIR. Let's go racing. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host. As always, I'm Sagar Bakshi on behalf of AK Esports and West Coast Sim Racing, taking you from green to checkered flag around the 3.24 miles and 554 feet of elevation around here. In Alton, Virginia, the US of A, we've got 17 natural terrain corners running clockwise. We have the climbing S's, the Oak Tree, the roller coaster, and hog pen. Drivers are going to have to get right. Couple keys to the race: preserve the momentum through the S's. Get that exit out of Oak Tree pitch perfect. Stay disciplined in the draft and protect the car through the roller coaster and hog pen safety. Take a look at the points before we get started. Fletcher, Colby in the Colby train. Tied for second place, then Onofre, Birch, Davis, Cunningham, Cantor, Michelke round out your top 10. Redmond, Andreu, Samoa, Rainey, Young, Dilworth, James, Johnson, and Colby round out the top 18. Let's take a look at the grid before we get started, shall we? On the first row to be Fletcher and Davis alongside each other. Then Luke Cantor and Brandon Birch on the second. Row number 3 belongs to Joe Rainey and Connor Cunningham. Row number 4 goes the way for Jensen McKelkey and Alexe Andreu. LaShawn Young, Dilworth, and Glen Bratton on row number 5. Row number 6 belongs to Jacob Bolland and Christian James. Warren Johnson bringing up the rear in 13th place. Welcome in Edit Respect. Welcome in Moonlight Dancer. Welcome in everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be here with you all on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the drivers and viewers here. It's time to go racing yet again. And the drivers queue up behind the pace car, 2 by 2, ready to go. They beam with anticipation and eagerness. Fletcher and Davis on the first row, Cantor and Birch on the second. Joe Rainey and Cunningham, Alexe Andreu, what can he do from way down the order in P7? Jensen McKelkey, we've seen him do some good running out here recently, but his consistency has not proven to be on point. So keep an eye on McKelkey in the number 41. Fletcher, however, our championship leader, continues to impress lap after lap and time after time as he continues to bunch up the field and put out threats. Jeffrey Davis, however, in the qualifying heat was close to Jeremy Fletcher, or closest to Fletcher. Let's see what Jeffrey Davis can do, as he might be a bit of a terror on the evening. Try to get things done on Fletcher. Let's see what the Odyssey Motorsports driver can do this evening. Fletcher and Davis are going to control the field coming down the roller coaster and in through Hog Pen. The pace car will pull in. Fletcher works the wheel, generate as much heat as possible in those tires. Sean Young Dilworth back in 9th. Improvements indeed. Oliver Brooks, improvements for him indeed. Fletcher, Davis, Cantor, Birch line the first rows. Back to the second. Green as Fletcher and the Copeland Motorsports JFR machine take off like a rocket ship. As soon as it takes off, it'll be good to go. Here we go, down and towards turn 1. Where are the elbows going to come out? Not here, not now, apparently. It's seemingly looking good for the entire field. No big jostling of positions. Connor T. Cunningham, however, losing one on his run. Trying to get past LaShawn Young Dilworth. He's able to stay ahead, and there's a big spin from the number 36. That's Brandon Birch. We'll have to see if we can get a replay of what happened to Birch going off the track early on in this event. Oh, man, what a weird one. What a weird incident. Connor Cunningham with a slowdown penalty, now turned into a black flag penalty. As he refused to serve that in time, he'll make a trip down pit road. Gap for the lead now becomes diminished to just about nothing. And Odyssey Motorsports lucky number 7 from Antarctica seemingly can't do enough to stitch it together. Down one position currently, but sees the other two right up the road. All drivers fan out on our way in towards turn 1. Go wheel to wheel all the way through 1 between Cantor and Davis. In the back, Jensen McKelkey watches on as things get a little bit spicy for the lead. Welcome in, Mr. Birch. Welcome in. Jeffrey Davis trails in 3rd behind Luke Cantor. And up here as well, we have Joe Rainey and Alexe Andreu, with also Warren Johnson, who's done a lot of work and might be the hard charger this evening, up 6 positions currently. Oh, battle for the lead here between Cantor and Fletcher. They go side by side all the way down towards the roller coaster down the back stretch. Big squeeze given by the 22 onto the Dynaco number 18. That's to no avail. He'll still chuck it in. Look at the stamp and ascend by Fletcher. And no doing there from Luke Cantor. Side by side for the lead all over again. Cantor now narrowly in front, but Fletcher has the inside line going down the front stretch. Late on the brakes goes Cantor, but so is Fletcher. Who's going to go in too deep? We all know how this one works out. The outside turns into the inside. And then who's going to have the momentum going up the hill through the S's? Here we go. Fletcher and the Dynaco of Luke Cantor. Wheel to wheel coming through NASCAR. Left hook all the way through 4, 5, and then the snake. This is where things get a little tricky. You can't go too wide here, or can you, as they easily prove me wrong. A lot of respect given between the pairing. The GR86 drivers go toe-to-toe, and Fletcher goes over the curb. And good thing Cantor left a lot of room there, but not a lot of room was given from Fletcher on that occasion, as Cantor has to go off the track in avoidance of Jeremy Fletcher. Now all this battling has brewed something up. Cantor, Fletcher, Davis, McKelkey, Joe Rainey, Alexei Andreu, all stuck in this battle pack. Here comes the trio, all pushing each other along. That's Jensen McKelkey in the background in the Birds Aren't Real machine. What can he do from P4? He looks forward to trying to get one done. 3 abreast coming through the roller coaster. And we all settle down a little bit, and 2 abreast is good enough for me. And through Hog Pen, McKelkey finds his 3rd position gained on the evening. Alexei Andreu's off at Hog Pen, though. Slowdown penalty for Fletcher. And Fletcher loses a ton of ground. He's now in 5th position. Fletcher again chases down Birch this time. He's trying to recover. Mr. Birch asks, how do you get a slowdown penalty? You get a slowdown penalty from cutting the track. So there are invisible detection points across the track that will indicate if you've gone 2 wheels off or 4 wheels off. If you go 4 wheels off the track, you will get a slowdown penalty. Sometimes, or under some occasions, if it's 50% of the car or more crosses a threshold, an invisible line in the sand, so be it, then you'll also get a slowdown penalty. It's very, very tricky, because at some tracks it's half the car, other tracks it's 4 wheels. So a lot of the times drivers are memorizing where they can or cannot abuse track limits. Birch pulls out fast lap of the race, 2:02.14 last time by. Take a look at Christian James here. He's streaming right now, but we can take a gander at what his purview is of the battle up ahead. LaShawn Young-Dilworth and Alexei Andreu right up the road. Absolutely, we've got driver cams. We have the technology. We can rebuild them. Luke Cantor in a little bit of trouble as Jeffrey Davis in the Odyssey Motorsport 7 pushes him along, but I think this is all to help each other out in the long run rather than hurt each other, because Brandon Birch keeps on chopping at the bit and closing down the gap. He's already up into P3 all over again, so he's gonna catch up to them here shortly. Oliver Brooks calling it like it is. Jeffrey Davis pushing the nightmare. Davis sits behind Luke Cantor. Overall, Birch as well. Trying to put in some work right now. Take a look at the lap times. Birch continually being a little bit faster. He was about 0.3 faster that last time by. Birch goes for the move on the lucky number 7. Outside line going into Oak Tree is a bit tricky there, so he'll avoid the disaster and back out of that one. Up the crest, going down the hill into the roller coaster. Over the hills, down the hills, and all in between. VIR is just one of these tracks where the lap keeps demanding more from you. You only get a few seconds of reprieve coming down the back stretch. Drivers fan out, coming down into one. Cantor, Davis, and Birch all in the mix for the lead. I feel like that was the perfect time to take a hydration break, because the battle for the lead is gonna be spicy going into the final lap. Jeffrey Davis, what is he gonna do? On board with Davis now. Trailing Luke Cantor. How long is this one going to last for? A leap of faith, a lunge to the inside line on the penultimate lap. Jeffrey Davis and Luke Cantor are wheel to wheel coming through the roller coaster. Their lap times are nearly identical. Headed into the final lap. Barney waves the green flag. 3 abreast going into turn 1. The drivers are fanning out. Now, Cantor in the background of the Odyssey Motorsports 7 from Antarctica. Everybody's cheering on Jeffrey Davis right now for the win. It's provisional right now, but anything can happen in motorsports. It typically does, especially here at one of the trickiest tracks in North America. Jeffrey Davis tries to defend back. Cantor. Does he even need to do it? Does he even need to defend coming down into Hogpen? He will need to, going into the roller coaster even. A big squeeze from the number 18. He's a nose ahead. He saw how Fletcher got it done. He's going to try to park it on the apex of the roller coaster. They go wheel to wheel. Davis with a touch to Luke Cantor. Cantor's off, but rejoins in the background of P4. It's going to go this way. Davis, Birch, McKelkey on the podium. Alexei Andreu trails Deshaun Young Dilworth by 2/10 in their battle for P7 and P8. In this battle here, Glen Bratton chases down Jacob Bolland to the line also. Fletcher and Cunningham having a little bit of fun wheel to wheel. Their battle's going to drag to the line as Fletcher was disconnected from the session. Hard break there from Connor T. Cunningham. Jeremy Fletcher accepts the wheel to wheel. Oh, goodness gracious. Jeremy Fletcher, we can't take you anywhere. Take a look at the results. Provisionally, it'll be Jeffrey Davis, Birch, Jensen McCalkey, the 1, 2, 3, and a hard charger. Excuse me, the most laps led being Luke Cantor with 5 laps left. Jensen McCalkey in 3rd, Luke Cantor in 4th, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson in 6th. There you go. LaShawn Young Dilworth in 7th, Alexei Andreu, Christian James, Jacob Bolland, Glen Bratton, Jeremy Fletcher, and Connor Cunningham round out the 13 drivers taking part tonight. What a race, folks. From the green to the checkered flag, man, oh man, was that an exciting event or what? Jeffrey Davis came out in force tonight to try to throw down the gauntlet. He did so with grace and precision. Well, so are rocket ships at the end of the day. Let's find out if his homing missiles are turned on, if he's ready to fire away for the main feature event. That's a good point. I didn't even notice. None of the Colbys are here tonight. Completely different race without them here. With that being said, with a good friend Barney watching on the drivers, let's take a look at our starting grid. Jeffrey Davis and Brandon Birch line the first. And following that, Jensen McKelkey and Luke Cantor. Afterwards, Joe Rainey and Warren Johnson finished up sixth. Row 4 belongs to LaShawn Young, Dilworth, and Alexe Andreu in P8. Christian James and Jacob Bolland. Then we have Colin Bratton and Jeremy Fletcher starting from the 6th row. Row number 7 belonging to Connie Cunningham, who steers from the rear. Let's get ready to go racing, folks. Oliver Brooks is in need of a boogity tonight. I can provide. Yes, I agree. Mr. Birch Fletcher will be on the move. Watch out for the number 22, starting from the back of the pack now. Drops to the rest of the field to toy with their heartstrings. Perfect, folks. Thank you so much for all the love and support tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for being here to support your favorite drivers. Let's get your predictions in chat. Who's going to come out on top and who's going to be the best of the rest tonight? Davis and Birch into the first row. Ready to take the green flag from Barney. And boogity, 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 let's go racing! Big dives from Jensen McKelkey to try to promote himself, but in the background it'll be Alexei Andreu off. Warren Johnson is the driver that gets spun at the end of the day. It will be Birch chasing down Jeffrey Davis at the front. In the background, Luke Cantor trying to redeem himself from race number 1. What can he do as he tries to charge up the hill through the S's? The first 3 under a blanket of less than 0.3 of a second. And there goes a look from Birch onto Jeffrey Davis. Joe Rainey getting his elbows out with Jeremy Fletcher, who's on a positive run of 7 positions. Can't wait to see the timeline trajectory on that first lap with nothing but net. 7 positions gained. Hold on. It might be 8 as he goes in too deep. It's on 41 and he takes out with him Jensen McKelkey, number 41. Fletcher's progression might not be looking too good right now, but up ahead, Birch, Jeffrey Davis, and Cantor. Three best coming down the front stretch into the braking zone of 1. Birch tries to get a little bit extra real estate. He gives a little bit of love to Jeffrey Davis. On exit, we're still there. Holy Toledo, it's Birch up ahead, and Jeffrey Davis gets spun in the background. I think Luke Cantor had something to do with that. Don't know for certain. But we'll take an incident review of that in just a moment. Let's see, Jeffrey Davis going off track. Oh, that was a touch there. Definitely was a touch. Oh, turn the intervals back on. My apologies, my apologies. So much action in the opening few, we didn't even need to see the intervals as the drivers were all just glued nose to tail. Hard to say always in boost, especially from these camera angles. Makes me glad that I am not a racing steward. You know what I mean? Always in boost. I'm just so glad. Because I hate making those calls. Dive into pit lane for Jensen McKelkey, who has a black flag penalty to serve. Glen Bratton leads Alexei Andreu. but trails behind the 22 of Jeremy Fletcher, and Alex nearly takes out Jeremy Fletcher there. Here we go. Jeremy Fletcher leads over Alex Andre, but for how long will this one last for? Oh, Edit Respect, you're so sweet. Unbelievable, Warren Johnson says. What's going on, Warren? Hold on. Hop into Discord. Hop in the booth if you'd like, Warren. Hop in the booth, my friend. If you'd like to, that is. It was the lap 1, turn 1 incident. Lap 1, turn 1. Let's get a replay of what happened here. See what happened. So Warren on the outside tries to turn in, and then LaShawn Young Dilworth comes across him. See if we can get another look at this one from the blimp. See if this is a better. Whoa, from way downtown. Who was that? That was, I think, Jeremy Fletcher from way downtown, gaining a ton of positions. Holy smokes. Again, one of those things. I'm happy I'm not a racing steward and I don't have to make those calls. Birch trails Cantor. Start of the race in P2. Runs the race in second still. I'll be the steward, says Lord September. Let's do it, man. We could use a free steward here at West Coast Sim Racing. It's so sad that they cut down the oak tree here at Oak Tree. And unfortunately, they cut it down in the simulator as well. The only simulator for which it still stands is the simulator of which they haven't updated the darn racetrack, Assetto Corsa. So if you ever want to see the Oak Tree, download Assetto Corsa again and get to running on BIR, the 3.27 mile racetrack located in Alton, Virginia. Riding on board with Fletcher as he gets a touch there from Christian James. Or I thought he was going to get a touch from Christian James to help him out, but no. James slingshots himself in front of Jeremy Fletcher, parks it on the apex of turn 1, and the number 22 has no doing there. Christian James up 4 positions now. James falls back behind Fletcher, but still has Alexei Andreu and Connor Cunningham behind him. The tree lives on in name. Oh, Kata. Welcome in, Cat. Thank you very much for joining us. A steward is someone who looks at incidents and will determine who's at fault and give out penalties. Speaking of penalties, there's a little bit of a elbows out moment between Connor Cunningham and Alex Andreu that settles down into nothing. Stewards get paid by a team to say it's not their fault. That is very, very true. Brandon Birch passed for the lead, going into the roller coaster section over Luke Cantor, wheel to wheel. A couple wheels dipped off into the grass for the number 18, but he maintains the P1 hold. Jeffrey Davis, flashy of the headlights, on to Christian James. There's James's point of view right now in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And hopefully trying to chase down Jeffrey Davis and use some of that speed to his advantage. Birch and Cantor, wheel to wheel. Dragging along LaShawn Young Dilworth to the podium. He has the fast lap of the race, 2:02.74. The best lap, last time by. Jacob Bolland in a bit of a tussle right now with Glen Bratton and Connor Cunningham. That tussle lies for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Where's Jeremy Fletcher in all this, you may ask? Well, he's running in P5 with 7 positions gained. He's running a quiet but deadly race. Joe Rainey pulls out the fast lap of the event, 2:02.69 out from P4. The run up the hill through the S's. Birch chases down Cantor for the lead. Up the hill, out of the snake. Agreed, edit, respect. What a triumphant drive from Jadarius. I think he's talking about LaShawn Young Dilworth. Broadcaster face cam, when do we get that? Absolutely not. You'd have to tip quite a bit. You'd have to tip quite a bit to see that. And I'll even throw a couple of toes for you, edit respect. I'll even throw in a couple of toes. If you're into that kind of thing. Wheel to wheel between Birch and Cantor. And a little push off into the grass. But Birch is going to keep it on the loud pedal. Rejoin the racetrack in front of Joe Rainey, who inherits P2. Slow down penalty now for Birch. How does he negotiate this one? Negotiated it well going into turn one. Not too shabby. Definitely need that competition caution to bring back a couple people into the mix. McKelkey being one of them. That's messed up, Warren. That's messed up. You guys are terrible. We need a replay of that huge incident. Which one? Hold on, which one? You want a replay of this huge incident? Let's get a replay of this one. Let's get a replay of this one. Get a replay of this one. Is this the incident we wanted to get a replay of, guys? I just wanted to make sure. This is the one we wanted to see. This is the one we wanted to see. Oh, boom! Right into the side. Oh, that one? Oh, that incident. Oh, okay. With Luke Cantor? Oh. Hold on. You mean this one? This one here. What? Why? Oh, man. We're going to have to go back a little bit further. Apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Side by side, we'll slow it down for you. The 36 goes wheel to wheel with the 18. And the 36 keeps his foot in it. And so does the 18. Luke Cantor, ooh, drives off LYD. Oh, man. And there goes off Luke Cantor in the 18, but he's able to recover up into P18. You boys know how it gets here in California. Settle down now. Settle down now. Warren knows exactly what I'm talking about. Settle down now. Simmer down. Oliver Brooks spitting facts tonight. Birch, Rainey, Fletcher, the top three, but it's separated by quite a bit. Jeremy Fletcher in the number 22 trails in third. Here we go. The battle for P2. Here comes Fletcher on Joe Rainey. Rainey Holmes trying to defend like a brick house, but Fletcher ain't having none of that. He walks right on by. Speaking of walking right on by, there'll be none of that happening between the 7 and the 19. Andreu defends square and fair from Jeffrey Davis, who's on a bit of a recovery drive this evening. Wheel to wheel all the way down the front stretch. Side drafting is not going to help these boys out tonight. Just like two trailer park girls, Alex Andreu tries to run around the outside, but it doesn't work out to his way. It will be Jeffrey Davis able to defend back P5. Connor Cunningham pokes and probes for a move there on Glen Bratton. The 289er. Whoa, and Connor Cunningham gets loose at the snake. before we get to the entrance of the S's on the loud pedal. And at Respect, you've never heard that before? The Eminem song, Two Trailer Park Girls Go Around the Outside. Around the outside, around the outside. Anyways, moving swiftly back onto the racing action, Jeffrey Davis locked in battle here, sandwiched with Alexei Andreu and Luke Cantor. There goes a move from the Dynaco. Here he comes to take a bite out of Alexei. And Luke goes back up into 6th now. Glen Bratton and Jacob Bolland here. The Bolland fans, let's get a couple of cheers for him. Jacob Bolland tries to defend, finds an opening, goes back through on Glen Bratton. But no, can't get it secured. Loud pedal went down, but too abruptly. A little loose on throttle application. Jeffrey Davis back up here. Sees Luke Cantor in his rear view mirrors, and that's probably not a comforting sight. On with Jeffrey Davis in 5th position. Oh, all the way through South Bend, down the plummeting hill into Oak Tree, where there is no Oak Tree anymore, sadly. And this will take us on to the final 5. Final 5 minutes of this event. Fletcher trails Brandon Bursch by a millisecond or two. Here's the onboard. See the Helios logo on the back of Bursch's car. Fletcher all over the rear end of Bursch. Gives him a little shove into the braking zone. Davis loses ground to Luke Cantor. Fletcher and Bursch, we can't pick which battle we want to keep our eye on. They're all so spicy right now. Davis tries to get a position back on Cantor, but can't do it just yet. Pushes and shoves from Brandon Burch. Or Jeremy Fletcher pushes. Jeremy Fletcher pushes Brandon Burch along. I can't get the words out of my mouth. Joe Rainey trying to do some work tonight finds himself on a provisional podium, but LYD trying to do some work himself. All the way down to pit road, Fletcher dives to the inside line, goes back to the racing one, and the 22 Copeland Motorsports JFR machine. It will be very close if we get a bonus lap or not. This might be the last time by, folks. Fletcher up the hill. Tries to get something done, but no. Here we go. This is the run down the back stretch. Here we go. The battle for the lead. Fletcher's alongside. A nose ahead. Will he clinch it here at West Coast Sim Racing? Parks it on the apex. Let's see it happen, Warren. 20 seconds left on the clock, though. Will we get the bonus lap or nay? I believe we will get the bonus lap. Yes, we shall. Birch tries to give a little bit of love to Fletcher. Into turn one. Not enough, though. Fletcher 2 wheels off. Gets a gap built of around half a second to Brandon Birch. Momentum up the hill through the S's was a key to the race. Getting the Oak Tree exit right. Discipline in the draft. Safety at the roller coaster. Down the back stretch. LYD going for moves. Gets one done, or tries to at the very least, on Joe Rainey. Down the back stretch. It's not enough for Birch to be in P2. He's too far back to make anything happen on Fletcher. Going into the roller coaster. But what about Rainey and LYD? Jeremy Fletcher's gonna take the win. Here, West Coast Sim Racing, GR86, Birch in P2, LYD in third, Joe Rainey, Jeffrey Davis, Luke Cantor dragged to the line here. Separated by 22 thousandths, then Alex Andre, Connor Cunningham, Christian James, Glenn Bratton, Jacob Ballin, and Jensen McKelkey. Take a look at the results. Jeremy Fletcher, Birch, and LaShawn Young Dilworth took the 3 spots on the podium. Joe Rainey and Forrest, Jeffrey Davis, Luke Cantor, Ali Exe, Connor Cunningham, Christian James, Glenn Bratton, Jacob Ballin, Jensen McKelkey, and Warren Johnson rounding out the 13 drivers. With our drivers ready to be interviewed, let's go ahead and get to talking to them. First, we'll go ahead and talk to our race winner, Jeremy Fletcher, this time by. Jeremy Fletcher, how does it feel to go from, well, a pretty unfortunate disconnect and then to be able to climb back to the top 11 positions gained this heat? How were you able to pull it off?
Yeah, obviously not at home, so the first race didn't really matter to me when I got disconnected. I knew I was quick, and like I said, I was going to come see you every main event, kind of trying to sweep all of them. So got pretty much from the back to the front in the first lap, made a mistake on my half and fell back, and just kind of kept putting consistent laps together and came back through the field.
The consistent laps are awfully challenging here at VIR. It's a long one, coming in at around 2 minutes and 2 seconds. You know, what is it? The magic, the secret, the recipe to getting consistent laps here when it's just the spa of the United States, right? You've got elevation change, you've got blind crest, you've got an iconic corner like Oak Tree. I mean, it's a recipe for success, but it's such a challenging circuit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of just putting the pieces together. There's really only 3 corners. You just got to be good coming onto the straightaways, and I've done so many laps here in real life and on the sim. So draft was a big help. Once I started catching a little bit of draft, definitely picked up the lap times quite a bit and just kind of kept my head down. Car didn't fall off, so felt good.
Right on, Jeremy Fletcher. On the win today, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank here in Victory Lane?
The whole JFR Esports crew, Colby family, Rainey family, you for always broadcasting, Warren for putting together this league. I know tonight didn't really go his way. Birch for racing me clean as always. Congrats to Jeffrey on the win and the heat race. And yeah, everyone that kind of watches, tunes in, puts this stuff together.
Thank you very much, Fletcher. Really appreciate your support. Have a great night and stay safe, brother.
Yes, sir. See you.
Next up, we'll talk to the P2, the bridesmaid of the feature race. Unfortunately, Brandon Birch, at the end of the race, was there anything that you could have done to throw down with Jeremy Fletcher?
No, I mean, I could have taken him out, but that's no fun. So, no, I mean, it's not my best track for sure. Not the greatest fan of Virginia. It's a fun one, but it's very draft dependent, kind of boring. I did not do a very good job at saving tires either. So towards the end, my tires were smoked. And yeah, I was just up there driving and they were able to catch up and get around me.
It is a very challenging track. There's a couple of technical corners, more than definitely the 3 that Fletcher talked about earlier, 17 to be exact. But here in Alton, Virginia, I mean, it is either a love it or hate it circuit, I feel like. It's definitely a driver circuit that demands a lot of commitment and respect from both the driver and the vehicle. Like I was saying, was there anything you can do other than taking him out? But, I mean, anything that you could have done to try to improve? You had great battles early on with the likes of Jeffrey Davis, Luke Cantor, LaShawn Young Dilworth, LYD. Just can anybody stop Jeremy Fletcher?
Oh yeah, he's not that fast. Come on now. But no, I'm just playing.
Don't
Jeremy's a
have
good
it in your
driver.
throat, Sauger.
Jeremy's a good driver, obviously, but yeah, I was struggling in turn 3 quite a bit. Turn 3 for me, um, or no, sorry, it was turn 4 and 5. The right hander there.
So left hook
I
and
just
then 4B.
Yeah, left hook, and then yeah, so going through there was tough. The car was a little loose, so I was letting off so I wouldn't spin there, and obviously losing a bunch of time. So that's probably the spot that I was losing the most time for sure.
It's a big challenge because at that part of the track, you just have to be all commitment, no hesitation. And you had
Yep.
that spin earlier on in the race. I think that was heat 1, right? And just to avoid doing that again, must have
Yep.
been a jolt down the spine.
For sure. Yeah, I've been for some reason this season I end up getting taken out and coming from the back like we saw in the first race. So I was like, well, I'm gonna try to stick up front for once. So held it as long as I could.
Well, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you want to thank, Birch?
Yeah, you for the broadcast, Warren for the league, JFR Esports, my dad and Steck in the chat watching.
Thank you very much, Brandon Birch. Appreciate your love and support here at West Coast Sim Racing. Have a good night, my friend. Next up, we'll talk to the man, the myth, the legend himself, LYD, coming in third for the feature race. And then we'll talk to the next myth, the legend, that is Jeffrey Davis. But LYD, how are you doing tonight in the Triple Eight? You found yourself on the podium.
Yes, sir. Found myself on the podium. Thank you for the interview here.
No problem. Great to have you as always. LaShawn, how were you able to gain those 4 positions this evening? And more importantly, how were you able to get that move done on Joe Rainey?
I'm learning from this league. I got to shout out Warren. I'm basically trying to channel my aggression a little bit more into concentration, and it kind of worked out this time. Just stayed consistent, figured out when to fight. I was trying to get him in roller coaster. We kind of had a little bit of a collection, but then in the hog pen, he kind of went a little bit wide of the first apex and then caught a little bit of oversteer, and I was able to get him on the straight.
Man, I mean, the way you worked the wheel, the way you were able to get those positions, and like Jeremy alluded to, you had to keep it consistent. What were your keys to the race tonight?
Well, I had to stay in draft because Jeremy is like, he got like some kind of extra power that I don't got. Like, I'm not saying he's cheating or anything, but damn, he's fast. I'm trying to say, but so I just had to keep in his draft and like just it's really just knowing when to fight, when to make the move, and just staying consistent. That's really all I can explain. Really, I don't know what I'm doing either.
It's hard to get it right when you don't know what you're doing, but it's easy to just enjoy the ride when you are getting the rhythm right, isn't it? Especially when it comes down to driver circuit. I alluded to Spa earlier. This is definitely a Spa like vibe for me. I don't know what I'm doing, but when I get it right, boy, does it feel good.
It's that flow state. It's that just concentration. It's actually this is one of my better podiums that I've had in a while. So I mean I'm appreciating this league and the real race car drivers, GR drivers, MX5 drivers that are in here. They're basically teaching the rest of us how it's done in the real world, and that's what the sim is for, to really learn. And yeah, definitely appreciate the league and everybody that has a part, and you as well. You got an epic voice. You got that epic voice. So working on my epic voice too.
Thanks, LaShawn. Is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank here on your inaugural podium with West Coast Sim Racing? I'm sure it won't be your last.
I want to shout out Jeffrey Davis. He's in the chat here with me. He taught me a lot. He's a 5K driver, also a coach. Odyssey Motorsport in general. We got the whole crew: PJ, Clancy, Oliver, Kyle. everybody on the team there. I don't want to call everybody out, but everybody knows who they are. Shout out to broadcast. Y'all boys are doing good. And shout out, did I say shout out the league? Shout out my mama. I love my mama. And that's about it, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, LaShawn. Appreciate you supporting West Coast Sim Racing and every nice thing you had to say about our organization. Have a great night, my friend, and stay safe out there.
Thank you, you too, man. You take care.
Now, last but not least, we'll talk to the driver that won in the opening heat, Jeffrey Davis, in that number 7. And Jeffrey, the race didn't go very well for the feature, unfortunately, but a good win today and a good haul of points. How does it feel to be on the top step of the podium here at West Coast Sim Racing?
Definitely feels good for it to be my first time. I've been having a good amount of pace at every track so far, but I just haven't been able to to luck out and string one through. So it definitely feels nice to finally have one under my belt.
It does, man. I mean, I remember my first win in every league race I was ever in, and it is absolutely memorable. Jeffrey Davis, what were your keys to success tonight? Because they worked out well in one heat, and then it kind of fell apart in the second. So what could have gone better in the second, and what went right in the first?
So in the second heat, after lap 1, coming out from turn 1, unfortunately we went 3 wide into turn 1, which was kind of my fault. I decided to stick it into the middle. I didn't think Luke would take it around the outside, but he did. I was hoping to stick it around the outside on Birch and then get him into turn 2. So unfortunately that didn't happen because, like I said, we went 3 wide. Ended up trying to fall back into line, and my rear bumper got pretty much stuck on Luke's front bumper and just spun me out, unfortunately. The first race, the plan was to try and push Luke past Jeremy, but the defense was definitely there. It's pretty hard. Eventually got him through. Luckily, I was trying to follow through, which I believe I did. Of course, Jeremy had the unfortunate disconnect, but after that, the game plan simply, since BIR is and the GRs in general, both very draft heavy cars, as we all know. So definitely the plan was to stick in draft, wait to the end, and pass. So eventually I waited the second to last lap and got the pass in hog pen or roller coaster. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, the first one's the roller coaster, the second one's the hog pen, the bottom of the hill that kind of spits you out past pit road. But
Yes, sir.
man, oh man, Jeffrey Davis, a commanding victory, and then another commanding drive for heat number 2, the recovery drive of a century. Might be the driver of the day based on the votes in chat. Is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank here on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing?
As you've heard it probably about 3 times now, I'm gonna be the fourth one. Shout out to you for the amazing broadcast. Of course, shout out to my team, Odyssey Motorsport. Shout out TJ. Shout out LaShawn, putting on good leadership amongst the team. And that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate all the love and support here at West Coast Sim Racing. I got to say thank you very much to dragging all the Odyssey Motorsports guys into the YouTube chat. It's great to have them here as always as well.
Yes, sir.
Have a great night, my friend. And do we have Warren Johnson? No Warren Johnson tonight. So with that, folks, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everybody in the YouTube chat, from the Odyssey Motorsports TV organization to Mr. Brooks, McKelkey Racing, Toe Racing. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you, everybody, for everything you guys do to support West Coast Sim Racing, whether it's just dropping a like, follow, subscribing, or showing up to race. You guys literally keep the lights on here, and your love and support goes a long way. Thank you for everything you guys do. Have a great night, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on